Hey, thanks for watching our content. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Piggybacking off of your last statement, and I know we need more diversity in the research space. Um, but as you're in your position as an administrator,
Yeah.
maybe put your director's hat on in academia. How do we increase the unicorn BCBA population that meets, Lonnie's point earlier about having, some ABA therapy and evidence base around that. How do we increase the population of African Americans on that side, as well as, I know we talked about the researcher side, but in the home, working with children, RBTs, BCBAs. How do we, put that on, from your director's administrators' perspective? How do we increase those numbers?
Yeah, I mean, and Nick, man, you can expand it out. Like the majority of teachers are white, about 80%. The majority of OTs, SLPs, I think somewhere between 80 and 90% are white. So across the board, service providers tend to be predominantly white in these fields. And so the question is, you're right, like how do we diversify the field in general? And some of it, I believe a little bit is at least starting early, starting when folks are in middle and high school and letting them know about different career pathway options. I didn't really know anything I don't even know how I ended up in special education, really. I didn't know anything about it, really. I mean, I saw kids with disabilities, but, in particular at the time I was in high school, those kids were in that class over there and they never interacted in the space I was in. And they rode a separate bus, the whole thing. It was such a segregated school environment. And so I guess it was that exposure to autism that sort of got me in there. But for a lot of kids, just that they don't get exposed to people with disabilities and career pathways for working with these populations. So how do we start earlier with getting, kids of color, understanding that you can be a BCBA and you can make a good salary. You can be a speech path and you can make a good salary. You ain't gonna make all that great of a salary as a teacher, but you could go into that profession if you want, right? But just exposing kids to these different career opportunities, right? And there's something just in and of itself rewarding about working in this space. But I think we have to start earlier, allowing people to see that this could be a possibility.
I love you, Heartworm.